think that's pretty good right there. Welcome to my vlogging very first episode. I don't even know if I'm ever going to share any of this anywhere, but I'm so much of a live out loud kind of person that I was like, it just seemed appropriate because this is the way that I roll. So, we're gonna move to Nashville, and this whole journey has been good. It's been in many ways very mysterious, in other ways very much a faith walk, and then there's this whole other side of it it's exciting, and then there's moments where you're like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? And I felt, again, I don't know that I'm ever going to share any of this, but I think so many people don't have any sort of grid for living a life that is so God-focused and so very much like the rich man in the Bible, where Jesus says to him, hey, sell everything you have and come follow me. And the rich man, he cries because he's not willing to sell everything he has and come follow Jesus. And I think like many people think that you don't have a choice. Like you don't have a choice when you choose to follow Jesus, but that's not true. You do have a choice, and that choice can get you into situations that you maybe didn't have to be in the first place. So when it comes to the moment where you're like fully surrendered to him, there's such a beauty that comes. There's such a clarity in many ways that comes, and yet like what you're choosing is your right to know at every second of the day. Like, I know we're gonna move to Nashville, there's no doubt. But how we're gonna get there, when we're gonna go, where we're gonna live when we get there, these are questions that I don't know the answer to, and I wanted to share my journey with you, real open and honest with you about how that really looks. The moments where we're terrified, the moments where we're full of joy that we get to follow Jesus, that's real. The moments where I'm looking around going, oh my gosh, but we've been collecting all this stuff, but you're telling me I need to sell it? This is real. So today, the last few days, we've been talking about this move, and I'll just say it like I'm afraid to say it on camera, because once you say it, you can't take it back. But we're believing God for a $2.1 million house in Nashville so we can have our ministry, and maybe another time I'll share about that ministry. But like currently, right at this moment, this man still lives in the house. We prayed that God would preserve the house for us. He had it on the market. After we prayed that, he took it off the market, and so we're basically just waiting for a miracle to take place. So we feel that the Lord has made it clear that we're going to move very soon. How do I know that? There have been a plethora of little nudges, dreams, scriptures. My children even had dreams where we felt like this clear, like, nudging towards moving. I just have like a deep sense that I need to be ready. So today, all day, really for the last few days, I felt like, oh my gosh, I need to pack a box. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't pack a box if I haven't gotten rid of anything. So I'm looking around my house going, oh my gosh, if I have to live in a hotel for 2 months, which I don't know that I will, but if I do, what do I need? And all this extra stuff is really just going to weigh me down if I'm in that scenario. So I think so many people would say, wow, you're being so unwise. You need to know where you're going. You need to know where your footing is before you get in your car and drive off. And yet, sometimes the wisdom of God is not what the wisdom of man is. So typically the wisdom of man is you need to have a job, you need to know where you're going, you need to have stability for your kids, your children need consistency, etc., etc. And although I agree with all of that, I also know that when God opens a door and like a trigger, a domino effect of things happens, you got to follow his voice or you're living in disobedience. So like one thing that we're experiencing right now is this following the cloud idea that you find in Exodus. You go read when the Israelites were going through the wilderness and God was like basically cloud by day, fire by night, showing them which way to go. And for us, it's like these little gentle nudges here and there and going this direction and then that direction. And if you're not in tune to the Holy Spirit, you find yourself feeling like anxious or aimless or whatever. So today I'm like, gotta step out in faith. Gotta pack some boxes. So today is a day where I honestly just kind of feel like I feel an urgency inside of me to pack everything, but it feels like no one else is urgent, which is not fair and not entirely true, but is how it feels. And but I feel the urgency so strong. I'm just like, we need to pack boxes, we need to get rid of things. But I'm like, when you're the only, if you're the only one feeling that and pushing for that, it can feel a bit overwhelming because, I got a lot of stuff to pack. And I don't want to pack it all by myself. But I feel like I need to, drive this ship. Let's go. Let's clear house, And I actually went to pack a box earlier, and I had this thought of dude, I don't know if I'm actually gonna get rid of some of this stuff. I mean, should it go in a box or should it go in a yard sale next week? I don't know. So just real talk here, what do I even do? I don't know. I feel like I am walking around my house and just looking at everything, and I almost feel claustrophobic. There's so much stuff. It's really not that bad. I know people have way more stuff than we have. And I'm not really one to hold on to things, but the truth is, when you got to get rid of a lot of stuff or pack a lot of stuff, suddenly it feels like a mountain task. You're kind of feeling overwhelmed. I can tell, like, the grace is definitely shifting. Man, I just feel such an urgency to, like, get it done. It's like, now that I know, now that I've heard, it feels like, what am I waiting for? But yet, like, it's such a huge task on my own to pack up, like, this house. And I know I'm not on my own, but, like, right at this present moment, it feels that way. Yeah, and, like, for those of you who have kids, like, your kids are super flexible, right? Like, but at the same time, when you pack a box of their toys or put toys in a to-go pile, like, or not to-go pile, but like put toys in a yard sale pile or in a trash bag to get rid of, man, they start, like, freaking out. So I could come up here and just start, like, bagging everything up, but I'm gonna create, like, this chaos fiasco thing going on. And man, I just don't want to mess with that. So I'm just feeling, lots of feeling. Today I met with some friends at a coffee shop, and it was a good time. But even talking with them, I could just feel like, oh my gosh, like, on one hand, I actually feel sad because they're talking about their life and what it's going to look like this year for them. And I'm like, man, I'm, like, not going to be here for that. I'm not usually one to feel sad about that, but I don't know, I was feeling a little sad. But then I also simultaneously was like, man, like, this doesn't really relate to me because I'm leaving. You know, it's kind of this mixed feeling thing. I feel like that's very natural. Just feel very, like, laser focused right now, and it's causing me to have angst because everything else that is not that laser focused thing is a struggle point. Like, someone get up here and just, like, help me clear house. And, like, I need to sell stuff, so I'm like, well, I could just, like, start posting all the stuff online, but I gotta have somewhere to sit for a month or two. Like, I gotta sit on my couch. I can't just get rid of it right the second. So I kind of worrying that a little bit of that tension, you know what I mean? So we do have a yard sale in 2 weeks. Hopefully that will propel us. But man, I'm just feeling it right now. Till next time.